Hello friends! Welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be setting up the month of June in my catch-all everyday planner. We'll be using stickers, pens, and washi to decorate a monthly spread, monthly overview pages, and a memory a day page in my classic happy planner. So come plan with me. And I've got some washi tapes here, all ready to go, as well as some mild liners I may use, this stamp block and stamp pad that I may use as well, this Happy Planner sticker book I'll be pulling from, and this Planning Things sticker book, which I'll pull from too. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get started with the design. I wanted to work this out beforehand just because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do this month. I had the Planning Things sticker book that I knew I wanted to use, but there was a couple of ways I could have went, so I tried some things out first before starting this theme on the wax paper, and then kind of worked it out ahead of time, at least here on the monthly spread. So we'll just immediately go ahead and move those stickers over, and then I will design the other two areas of the monthly pages here on camera afterwards using this design as the base. So as you can see, I am layering in some washi tape now. This washi tape I got from the washi tape shop, and it's a pretty thick roll, so I ended up cutting it in half and then taking those two halves and actually ripping them down to get the raw edge that you see there on the top and the bottom. Then I pulled in some florals from the Tropical Vibe sticker book from Planning Thing and added those in a lei-like design. So I ended up going towards vintage Hawaiian vibes as this spread developed. I knew I wanted to use the tropical florals, and we tried a bunch of different kind of colorways and just really was gravitating towards this vintage style Hawaii vibe that I feel like the combination of those florals with the washi tape invoke. So really love how it turned out. I started off with this lei shape kind of going off of the page and designed that, just layering up individual florals that were there in the Planning Things sticker book. And I really did like how that turned out. I had to modify the shape of the lei draping over the page there a little bit. I did like it a slight bit better on the wax paper, but I really think it still comes across really cool looking. Basically, I just alternated the colors, starting with yellow, and then I would go to the next kind of orangey yellow floral tone I could find in that same size, down into the pinks, and then came back and repeated that same color, almost gradient, all along the line of the lei. And that, I think, just turned out great. There are some empty boxes at the beginning of the month. That was nice, but some of the flowers obviously go into the sidebar on top of some boxes, as well as go into the day areas, which luckily I haven't really needed all of the day spaces on my monthly, so I think I'll be just fine. And if I get into a pickle where I have something that I need to put on a day that's pretty much taken up with those florals, I'll just drop a colorful box on it and cover up the deco a little bit if need be. I also went ahead and put a nice large floral there in the corner for the last empty day there on the month. And then I'm layering in also to some washi tape from Daiso that I've had in my stash in an orange pink tone. It's kind of like a gradient as well on that washi. I am just ripping it down the center to divide up that washi and also create another raw edge, layering that in with the map vintage washi that I think just kind of brings all the colors together, kind of makes it a little more vibrant and a little less vintagey looking, brings more fun and color into the spread, which I wanted to have. So I did that. I also put in two quotes, one in the top left corner and one in the bottom right, both from the Gold Star quote sticker book from the Happy Planner. And they were just the perfect shade of gradient from the pink to the yellow for this page. I thought they just matched up really well. The one on the bottom is a little bit more like orange to pink, but the one on the top was like all of the colors that we're using here, so it was a really good fit. Layered that in, and now I think I'm going to put a little bit more of that orange pink washi layered here in the top left, just to mirror that other side, but again add more color in. And I'm just really trying to make it look organic on the ends, but still want it to add just a bit of color but not look like it's out of place. So I'm going to layer it behind the lei florals. I'm going to pull those up and push it back underneath there just so it kind of fades into the background, but again brings in a little bit more color. And I forgot to mention I added in some colorful boxes too from the Plan Anything sticker book for some dates I'll go ahead and talk about at the end when I fill out the written portion of these spreads. Okay, so now that I have that very first spread kind of laid in, you can see where we're going to go with this. Here's the process that I'll be using to create all of the elements. So to begin with, I have that vintage washi, and I just laid some down on my cutting board and cut it in half to start. I am trying to keep the orientations the proper way so that the map is upright. So I have a bottom half here that I need to put in. It was a little bit too large as far as the profile of the washi, so I ripped it down even more even after cutting it in half, just so it wasn't quite so big and into the space where I needed to track my habits. So I'm going to use the other part here on the top, which they're usually well mirrored the way that I've been doing this. I will make some adjustments there where it says June. I didn't want it to be covered up, so when I layer in the other color of orange and pink, we'll try to keep that in mind so we're not covering up the month header there. And I'll trim off the excess here. Now that I have the first side in, let's go ahead and repeat pretty much that same process on the right. Again, I had to rip this bottom part twice so that it wasn't too large in the space and covering up too much functional area. And then we will use the other part, which is a little bit larger, but I think I will just kind of edit out a little bit more on this side as well, so it's not too large, but I have a little more space to play with up here so I can fit more of that washi in without covering anything important. So I went ahead and did that, laid that in, and I'm just going to loosen the tension here on the bottom that's curling the page a little bit. Same on this side too, just try to get everything flattened out. And then I see I need to trim just a smidge more just so it's flush with the bottom of the page. So let's look for some quotes for this page as well, or this spread. I'm going to try to stick with the same styling as far as the quotes are concerned. There are a few of them in here in this sort of loose handwritten font that I think works well in the pink, orange, and or yellow tone. So I found that Make It Happen quote, which I think will fit really nicely here on this side. I'm going to set it up a little bit so that there's some floral elements next to it and a little bit of that orange pink washi as well. I didn't go too far in with that orange pink washi overlay because again I have some functional space next to it. So we'll work more vertically since I have a nice big empty area here to work with for decor, and layer in a couple florals with that quote just to bring in more color. Yeah, I like how that looks. I think we're getting somewhere as far as bringing in the same vibes as before. And then I thought it would be really kind of nice in this open area here on the right to do another lay, but instead of having it draping vertically, have it maybe like draping horizontally, like as if it was sitting on a table or something. So since I have these smaller ones left over on this sheet that I already used up for the front spread, I'll go ahead and try to work it on the sheet here itself and figure out how it might look there in the space before I actually put it on the page, in case the stickers don't want to move once I put them on the paper. Just trying some things out. I think I can make it work. It's not going to be quite as convincing as the front page where the lay was draping vertically, but I think because we have that already, you'll feel the vibe I'm trying to go for with that horizontal lay idea. So I'll just go ahead and lay that in. And I had to make a few adjustments, so I'm going to start with the back and then try to get these guys in so that it feels like a natural placement on a table or flat surface. That came out okay. Not perfect, but you get the gist of what I was doing there. And next we need some more quotes for this page, and I did find this quote that said, "Worry less, smile more." This smile was in the blue, which was not going to work, so I just went ahead and cut out the worry less part, which kind of goes with that tropical island vibe, I think, and I could always use some less worry, more positivity. So we'll put that in just as a little reminder. Again, I'm going to nestle it up against those florals so that it looks like it's part of the cluster. And I've layered in some of that orange and yellow washi there at the top as well. And now I was looking for maybe some colorful boxes to add in here for some repetition, and thought it would be good to use these header boxes maybe in this area for the habits that I like to track. Just reiterating the color scheme. And we went ahead and trimmed off some excess there that I was seeing on the page. Looking to see if there's anything else I want to bring in as far as quotes here. But I think we'll just go ahead and jump to the back and then come back and add in anything that I need to at the very end when I fill out the pages. So not wanting to waste any of the washi tape, I'm going to go ahead and actually try to use these leftover scraps that I ended up trimming off from the overview pages we just finished. They're not quite as big and as bold as the original sizing that I was working with, but I think I can make them work with just a little bit of layering. I don't think you'll notice that much. And this page is a pretty full page when I'm done at the end of the month. I add in basically a memory every day in each of the month boxes there, so there's a lot of kind of small writing on this page. Makes it feel really detailed and full in the end. So having a little more downscaled decor won't really make a big difference, I don't think, on this spread. And like I said, I'm trying not to make a whole new strip of washi and cut it down. I'm going to try to use what I had left over from the previous spreads. I'm just using some of these scraps, going to layer them together and try to make one long strip out of the layered pieces. And again, since I'm going to be layering in some more washi too here, I don't think you're really going to notice that extra layering, that it's not all connected. It hides pretty well behind this orange-pink washi. And we'll just trim off the excess, make everything look like it's flush against the bottom of the page. Clean up any air bubbles. And look for another quote for this page as well. Just using those same vibes all throughout, so all these pages feel cohesive and as part of that one theme. So I was struggling to find something that I felt had the same writing style and color scheme, and decided to pull out the more from the previous quote that said worry less, smile more, and then connect that with a heart quote that said kind heart and a bunch of other sections behind that. But I knew I would never use those three colors together, so I went ahead and cut up the quotes, made them work for me. I love to do that from clear quote stickers. It's definitely a technique I highly recommend. If you're not finding what you need, you can basically cut up quotes and make what works best for your spread. So I added in another large floral there, and then went ahead and added a small one in as well, just for the combined scale and repetition from the other pages. Now I'm going to add in some washi. I had some solid washi I thought I might use. Just going to bring that in on the empty days here in the month, just for a little more color, and then maybe drop in another floral on the last day of the month, whitening out the lines just so I can set that in place. So I'm going to go ahead and write in on my sidebar here back on the monthly. I use the sidebar to track the books I've read and the TV I've watched. And then I have an appointment that I had pulled a colorful box for earlier, as well as a birthday I need to remember. And then I'll just write in the holidays for the month as well. The only holiday I really am excited about for June is Donut Day. If you guys follow my channel, you know I love donuts. And that's pretty much it for now, and we'll fill out the rest as the month goes through. Now on to the overview pages. I'm going to add in my habit trackers, which are to track if I went outside, my AM PM skincare routine, whether or not I read a book or listened to an audiobook that day, and if I did my physical therapy stretching. So those are some habits I've been tracking this year. It's a nice way for me to keep track and kind of make sure I'm doing the things I need to do or things that I want to do. And then on the social media side of this spread, I'm just going to set this up to track my followers and subscribers in the monthly section. And then just add some highlights to, again, reiterate some more of that color on the spread, along with a little bit of washi layering too, again, for more color. And I'll be using that long checklist on the side just for some monthly tasks, and that's been working out great this year as well. Finally, I'll just add a little highlight section on the back, and that will do it, friends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!